Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to get on, I don't know where to start with this, but everybody's asking me about it, so I'm going to try. I'm going to probably confuse a couple people, but if you are, just leave me a note and I'll redo it again and I'll break it up into sections. I'm going to try to do this. What we're going to talk about is what you do to get your trailer ready for the road. Okay? So we're going to break it down. We won't do the inside because most of the inside stuff you know how to do. You don't have to put all your stuff away, and you got to put the chairs away and put the slides in and all that. I'm not going to go into that. You guys know that. It's going down the road. So this is number 38. And okay, now you're probably going to get a ton of videos here in the next little while because we got to go back to Canada in another month, and we're not sure how the Wi-Fi will work. So if you get a whole bunch and then you get a spot where there isn't a whole bunch, that's why, because we're not sure what the Wi-Fi in Canada is going to let us do this. Anyway, this is your trailer. Okay, you got your trailer like so. I do square stuff, it works better. Okay, and then your hitch, you got your jacks. Okay, now when you go to hook your trailer up, the most important thing is you have to do it in a schedule, and you get into a routine. If you want, let me know and I'll send you a checklist of what you can do right from start to finish. Now the first thing you do when you go to take off is, as I told you, L's inside. So what I do is I come out and I let the jacks off, okay? Because you got the tongue jack here still. I let the jacks off. And then I put the barbecue away. And I put the table away. And I unhook the propane lines and put them in. Now the step I leave out, make sure all the windows are shut. Make sure the awning's shut. Now on the awning you have to have these here straps. If you don't have these straps on your awning, go buy some or make some real quick. Because if you put them straps on the awning, it will not come undone. Guaranteed, it will not. And all it is just a piece of Velcro, like so. You put it on there, and bam, it's done. So you check, you got to make sure the antennas are all down. Make sure all of your roof vents are closed. Make sure all your caps are in your hitch. I got to close that window there, or I'll close that when she slides in. So on the outside, you have everything put away. There's nothing on the outside. Everything, you put that away. Then you put the jacks up. Okay? I'll try to put this in here and see. Okay, the stabilizer jacks are up. The next thing you do when you do that is you back your truck into it, right? You back your truck into the trailer. Next thing you do is lift up the hitch, connect the hitch on the truck, okay? You lift the hitch up and put it down on the ball. Now when you hook it to the ball, you just put it so that it just touches the ball, just touches the ball. Because if you got an equalizer hitch, you have to put the bars on it. And if you got Anderson like us, you tighten up the chains on it when it's with no load on it. Not when it's sitting there loaded, because that's got 300 pounds or 400 pounds or 500 pounds on it. It's with no load on it. You put the bars on. So you make sure the hitch is locked in on the ball, right? You put the hitch down. You don't leave it on the jack. You don't let the jack up all the way. Put the bars on, whatever bars you got, and on Anderson it's chains and the nuts and all that. We'll go into the hitches some other time if you guys are interested. You put the bars on and then you let the trailer down. Now you check the trailer. Now if you got a distribution hitch, so I'm thinking 2 or 3 chain links. Now all you remember, like, it's not got nothing to do with force and all that. Just throw that right out of the ball. All you do is work on chain links. Now if you put too many if it's too tight, it'll really feel like it's pushing you all over the road. And if it's too loose, it'll be flopping down the road. So you get that happy medium. Most happy medium, if the hitch is set up the way I told you with the 18 inches, you lift it up a half an inch and drop it on the hinge like we did with Bob's. That way there, you're probably looking at 2 to 3. Now everybody gets in there and plays with the hitch and tilts it up and tilts it back and yada, yada, yada. Put it up straight up. Don't tilt it nowhere. Just put it straight up and everything will work just fine. Now, as soon as you let the trailer down, the next thing is you put the light cord on. Safety chains. I better get some more room here. Okay, the light cord. So that's let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 is the safety chains. Okay, now the safety chains. The safety chains come off the hitch. You'll have one on the right, one on the left. You cross them, put the right on the left and the left on the right. Now the reason for that is if it unhooks, which I don't even talk about it because you don't do this RV stuff to if you have to use the safety chains or if you have to use the breakaway switch. We don't talk that way. We never use that stuff, so we just hook it up. We don't have to worry about it. We make sure it works, but we never use it, okay? Never talk about it, never use it. If you talk about it, then you have to use it. You don't want to do that. So all you do is put the safety chains on and cross them. Hook them on. Now, you got to hook them with the open to the ground, not the other way around. Because if the safety gate breaks, it'll fall out. The other way it won't. And then number 7 is the breakaway cable. That's for the brakes. The breakaway cable. That's the one with the little cable there and with the hook on it. Now, it has to hook to the truck, not the hitch. Unless you have an Anderson, that won't come undone. If you got another one, any of the other ones where they bolt together, then you have to put it on that truck. It has to go on the truck for safety. But like I said, we don't plan on using it, so just make sure it all works. We're not going to use it. We're going to hook it up so it doesn't come. So then you got it brakes up that. Now after you get the bars on, you let the trailer down, you got the light cord on, you got safety chains on, you got the brakes, then you can put the jack all the way up. Now, the jack, you can do whatever you want. I take it so that it's just up with the frame, level with the frame. I don't take it all the way up. I don't put it all the way up. I just put it up so that I use it for a bump stop is what I do, because if you go through some of these high ditches, you'll skin your chains. Well, the chains are very expensive. The bottom of the jack ain't worth nothing. And it'll just stop it from bouncing and taking your chains and your cables and your light cord and everything. Okay, so now you got it here, you got the jack up, you got the hitch just touching, you put the bars on, you let the trailer just down so that you let the trailer down, you put the light cord on, you put the safety chainers on, you put the brake cable on, and then you put the jack in. Now, I'm going to really blow your mind, because everybody, on the hitch, there's where it locks in, there's a pin there where you can put a safety pin. You put the safety pin in. But, with that said, if you are using, I know you're all going to try this, if you're using a distribution hitch, not an Anderson, but a distribution hitch, there is no way on God's green earth, if you don't put a pin in there, there is no way that it can come undone. It just cannot come undone. I'm sorry, it can't. If the only way that it can come undone is if you don't put that latch down all the way. And the way to, if you're nervous about it, make sure you put the pin in, because the pin will not go in if it's not locked in. It has to be locked in for the pin to go in. So that's a safety thing, right? But like I said, we're not worried about the safety stuff working. We just need it working. We're not going to use it. We're not going to use the safety chains. We're not going to use the brake cable. We're not going to use the lock pin. We're all going to put it all on so you don't need it. Okay? That's the key. Use it so you don't need it. Never. Okay? So there we go. So you're ready for the road right now. You got everything up. You got the jack up. You got the hitch touching. Put the bars on. Let the trailer down. You put the light cord in. Now make sure the light cord's locked in. The safety chains, the brakes, and the jack. Now you just go around, and every time you stop this thing, you go around and check it all the time. Okay? Now, just a side note, before you go on your trip, you go and check your stuff like your tires and your batteries and all that stuff. That's not when you're hauling down the road, because that's not when you want to be doing that stuff when you're hauling down the road. You want to do that before, not while you're hauling down the road. So you check your tires, make sure they're all up to snuff and all that stuff. Check your wheels and all that stuff, and make sure the body's all up, the jacks are all good, all that. You want to do that before you haul down the road. You know, it's like people that haul a broken race car to the racetrack. Why in the hell would you do that? You're going to race. If you go there with a broken race car, how are you going to race? So when you're going ready for the road, the trailer's ready to go. Everything's ready to go. You're not going to go down the road and, well, I'll fix this and fix... No. You just do it right the first time, and this is what you're going to end up. If you do this every time, that's what you're going to end up with. Zero problems. I mean zero. I have never lost a trailer yet. And believe me, if you lose a trailer, you got to work at it, because it's not something that can happen overnight. So if you do this here, jacks, the hitch, the bars, let the trailer down, light cord, safety change, brakes, jack, and then that's where you're going to end up with 0, 0. Now, some people, yes, you grease the ball on the distribution hitches, but Anderson, you don't, because the ball doesn't move. The trailer doesn't move on the ball. I know, that's another story. Anyway, think about that. If you got any issues at all, let me know, because I know it's a lot to think about. And let me know. And thanks for watching. I hope it helped something.